Yes, sir, I want to make sure this is on, and it is. I do appreciate everyone coming out tonight. This is one of the larger forums that we've been at, and again, for the pastor opening up the church and the doors to all the wonderful people that come out and listen to those things that we have to share. I'm running for Ward 3. My name is Dale Burkett. I am the incumbent. I've been in position for 6 years. My wife, I want to tell a little bit about myself through just commitments. I've been in the fire department for a long time. I've been a city resident for a long time. I've paid property tax for 40 years. I've not ever moved outside the city. My wife has been dedicated to her church and my church, but her family's been in her church for 110 years. Consistency. When I was at the fire department, I was there 33 and a half years. I was out 8 days sick. And the last 25 years I was not out a day. So there is a level of consistency. Something that I've always did within city council business is every time I should be in my seat for 6 years, I've not missed a meeting. So I have voted 1,000 times, give or take 100 or so. So with those votes, the intent was to provide better care for the citizens, the neighborhood. One major item is stabilization of neighborhoods. So with those things being said, there is a level of consistency. My commitment through the fire department, through the Marine Corps, through the church, through the family. And the family and the church, they go hand in hand. You cannot separate them. If you do, the community is not going to be as solid as it should be. One item I'm totally tickled for, and I would be for your family, is my daughter was able to move back home. So with that, I hope that all of your families can stay here because we have a city, a town, and a recreation department. Let me jump in and answer the questions, and I probably should have spent more time looking at it. Because I've got so much to say on, but 3 minutes is not going to do it. I'll be here all night if someone wants to talk. Downtown, I totally agree with what Dr. Curlin says, and often on TV you'll see that we disagree. But on this item, we have to have a lively downtown so that it can, in turn, turn business around. Gaston County is the largest, Gaston County is the slowest growing county in the area. And it's for a particular reason, is because I think councils in the past did not do what was needed to do that these councils in recent time have stepped up and chose to do. I'm going to go straight to Rankin Lake, Lineberger Park. We should have built it. We did build it, and we're going to build it. And is that 3 minutes? God, it gets gone. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Jim Gallagher. I'm running for Ward 3. I am a Bible-believing, born-again Christian. I've lived in Gastonia since 1993, 18 years. I love this town. I'm happily married for the past 25 years to Charmaine. We have 2 children. My daughter attends Liberty University. She's in her 2nd year of law school. And my son is up at Gaston, and he's in his 2nd year. I graduated from Monmouth University in 1980. I have a BS in Business Administration. I work at Wells Fargo. I'm a compliance officer. Now, that's just a little bit about me. I can go on and on. How do I feel about the recent emphasis of downtown revitalization? I think it looks very nice downtown. I think the city's done a great job. But I also think that private industry needs to start coming and taking over in terms of revitalizing itself. You see, downtown is not going to be like it was 30 years ago. All the business moved down here, okay? It's all down at Franklin Square. Even if you took all the cars from there and brought them downtown, you wouldn't be able to put them anywhere. You have to bulldoze everything. So downtown needs to be vital, but I think the city council has done a good job and I think private funds need to start coming into there. Second question, stance on recycling. I'm totally against it. I think we should stop the fee for recycling, because right now, what's happening is we pay for our garbage through our property taxes. And I'm a numbers person from working at Wells Fargo. And what happens is we take that as a deduction against our federal income tax. Once it becomes a fee, we will no longer be able to write it off. Now it's going to start at $6 come January 1st. Come July 1st, it's going to go to $12. Now, if you really want to get upset, check this out. The garbage pails with the microchips, I think that's all wrong. I think they should just stop that and not even have it. I know that Belmont, for a fact, distribute out recycling cans, and they don't have the microchip in there. But our garbage cans are going to cost $55 each. They have to buy 27,000 of these. That's $1.4 million. In this economy, that's wrong, people. I'm sorry, but that's it. That's not watching out over our funds as citizens. Third thing, property taxes. I carry this blue backpack wherever I go. Because you know why? In here, I have the city of Gastonia's budget. I want to remember how hard it is for us as citizens to put up with. This here is it. If this landed on your toe, it would hurt. In here is the city of Gastonia's tax rate compared to other cities. We are that white line you see up there, and you're welcome to have a copy of this. I'll put it down here up front. I think we need to lower the property taxes because there's a lot of vacant houses out here where I'm campaigning, and we need to get more people into those houses. We compete against Raleigh, Belmont, and Clover. Sir. We need to do it now. Sorry. Thank you, Mr. Sadler. Apologize. Get a little carried away.
Good evening. Thank you for allowing me to be here. My name is Rodney Parham. I'm a Gastonia native. I was born at the old Garrison General Hospital. If anyone remembers where that used to be. I went to New Hunter High School. I spent about 30 years at the Gastonia Police Department and retired as Chief of Police. I have a long history of service to this community through many organizations, not just the police department. I've mentored in the schools. I've been on the board, the advisory board at the Salvation Army, as well as other things that I'll be glad to talk with you later about. My wife, Jo, and I love it here. Our children all live here, and our 4 grandchildren, soon to be 6 grandchildren, will all be here as well. So we do have a long history here, and I hope that's important. I'm also in favor of the downtown revitalization. I remember as a child, my mom and I would ride the bus to town, and that's where we did our Christmas shopping. And downtown was safe, and we had a good time, and I went there as a teenager by myself several times. I think government has done about all they can do to attract new business downtown. I do think it is time for the private sector to step up. I think the infrastructure is there. There's been a lot of private money put in downtown as well. So I'm hoping that the moves that have been made will be positive. I do support downtown. And now that we have the convention center, I think we need to do everything we can to use it. And I hope as that becomes a success, it will also create some other successes downtown. My stance on the solid waste is this. This was not a state mandate. This is not a federal mandate. It's something that was chosen to do at this time. This is a terrible economy. I've done taxes at H&R Block for 21 years, and I see every year how people are struggling with losing houses, not being able to pay their bills, and to add $6 to their fee starting January and either 8 or 12 in July when it goes up is just an unnecessary burden. Groceries have gone up, your gas has gone up, your water bill's going up, and your electric bill's going up. So $6 more is just one more straw on the camel's back, and I've seen the camel's knee squabble a couple of times. It's just getting tough for everybody. So I hope we can find a way to do away with this fee. The program is here, we do have it, but I do hope we can find an alternate way to pay for it so it won't be a burden on our taxpayers. Think about this, if there are 25,000 households in Gastonia that pay $6 a month, that's $150,000 that's going to the city. That's $150,000 a month that you won't be able to spend at the grocery store or at the local businesses. Do you support the improvements being made at Rankin Lake, Lineberg Park, and Greenway? I'm all in favor of parks. I think the Greenway is a great thing. A lot of people get to use that that are not in good enough shape to play organized sports like me. So I'm all in favor of the parks and the Greenway. The problem I had with this was the voters said no, and I think that should have been the answer. If it was going to be done anyway, it should not have been brought to a vote. And that's just how I feel about it. And I would be in favor of decreasing the city's tax rate if there's a way to do that. But one thing that's coming in a year or two is the reevaluation. So that's going to play a big part of this. Thank you for allowing me to be here, and I hope you remember me on November the 8th.
Good evening. My name is Todd Pearsall, and I'm running for City Council in Ward 4. And I know we've thanked Walker Reed for his service tonight, and I'd also like to thank him for that, but I'd also like to thank you for not running again. Made it a little easier for me, so I appreciate that. But anyway, I am running in Ward 4. My dad is a Southern Baptist minister, and I started having flashbacks when you got going there, Jim, so you might have a second call in there. But I'm going to jump right into it. How do you feel about Gastonia's recent emphasis on downtown revitalization? I think downtown's important. I don't think anybody will deny that, but I also think that there are other areas of the city that need just as much, if not more, attention. That has been my criticism all along for the last 2 to 3 years. I've been shouting that as loud as I could. It seemed like no one wanted to listen, but now we see we have a lot of candidates that feel the same way, so hopefully we'll see some changes there. My stance on solid waste is, I just want to see a show of hands. How many people can afford to pay more for garbage? There you go. That's my answer. Do you support the improvements being made at Rankin Lake, Mount River Park, and the Greenway Park projects? I was an avid supporter of the Rankin Lake improvements. I think Rankin Lake's important. It can be a jewel for our city. But when the voters say no, it means no. It doesn't mean if you support it, you find another way to do it. I strongly believe that. And then would you be in favor of increasing, maintaining, or cutting the city's current property tax? Cutting it. Can't promise you that we can cut it, but I think everyone that's elected needs to try to find a way to do that. As far as November 8th, I'm not asking you to vote for me, I'm asking you to hire me. I will be working for you. You will be my boss. So on November 8th, I would appreciate it if you would go ahead and hire me. Thank you. Todd Pearsall in Ward 4.
My name is Reese Barnett, and I'm running for City Council in Ward 4. I'm a Gaston County native and a single working mom that believes God must come first. I'm running because I want to make a difference and continue to improve the quality of life in Gastonia. I believe in action. An idea without a corresponding action is merely a fantasy. I'm a forward thinker and do not believe in dwelling on the past. We must implement empirically effective and efficient initiatives that meet need and invest in the future of constituents. Question 1, I do support downtown revitalization. It is the heart of our city, and I think it can be used to unify our community. However, I do think we need to be mindful of timing and economic feasibility. Question 2, I didn't like the solid waste vote, but it's done now. And I don't believe in dwelling on the past. I think we need to monitor the effectiveness and efficiency and make the necessary accommodations as they're identified. Question 3, do I support the improvements at Rankin Lake? I first believe in honoring the vote of the people. I think projects need to be implemented when they are financially feasible, but I am a big supporter of green technology because health and wellness will inadvertently increase our income by lowering our health costs. Question 4, I am in favor of maintaining and eventually lowering taxes. Thank you. Please remember to vote for me October the 20th or November the 8th so that I can put you first.
Thank you very much. These are the candidates from Wards 3 and 4.
And while they are moving to their seats and candidates from Wards 5 and 6 are coming up, I would recognize the presence of Representative Kathy Hastings and Harrington. Ask her to stand.